Hello YouTube and hello 9th Age community. This is Charles with Evershade Gaming, and I'm bringing you another 9th Age battle report. It's been way too long since Cornerhammer, and I'm sad to say that I only have 2.5 battle reports. I think the third game I'll be able to make into a full video. That remains to be seen. But I have no pictures from games 4 and 5, which is really sad because I actually did really well at Cornerhammer and placed really well and got best EOS, which is a spoiler, but I don't think it's wrong to spoil something that has no real ending. So I have a few banner reports, and I'm gonna kind of whip them all for the next couple days, and I'll show you guys what I brought and how I did. So my 4,500 point Cornerhammer list is I've got a Marshal with a Blacksteel, Death Warrant. He's got the Talisman Void and the Dusk Forged Shield enchantment. He's a general with a shield, and he's also got a great Tactician upgrade. Not too expensive, a little bit expensive, but I wanted to make sure that he didn't die or something like that. And then I've got a cheap Marshal. He's got the Will's Ward, Obsidian Rock, and the Fire Banner, a little bit of utility. And then I've got a Wizard with the Magical Heirloom, Talisman of Shielding, Basalt Infusion, Wizard Master with Alchemy on an Arcane Engine. He's got light armor, so he's got a 3-up armor save and a 5-up Aegis save, so not too bad. Pretty pricey, but he makes the Arcane Engine cheaper, so I don't know, it's like kind of evens out, I guess. And then in my core was like, it was beautiful. It was right on 1125. 6 Knight in the Orders with the Cavalry pick. Shields and Musician, 294. 2 things of 20 light infantry, one with handguns, one with crossbows. The one with handguns have the Standard Bearer with Marksman Pen. I love putting it on that banner on my handguns. And then the 20 light infantry with crossbows, both units, the 20 and the 12, have a champion with a long rifle. Also love long rifles. They're really good right now. And then in my special section, I have 28 Imperial Guard. These guys are just sword and board bros with full command and the household standard. Make use of that great Tactician. And then 4 Knights of the Sun Griffin with Lance's Shield Musician. 5 Riders, just base Riders. A Steam Tank, a Cannon, and a Mortar. So I actually love this list. The orders were really powerful on the light infantry, and I thought the Imperial Guard were going to be slouches in combat. That turned out not to be the case. So the list I played against, Dread Elves round 1. Dread Prince on a Mana Core. Heavy Armor, Paid Weapon, Shield, Midnight Cloak, Hero's Heart, Ghostly Guard, Dragonfire Gem. I love the combination with the Ghostly Guard and the Dragonfire Gem. Brilliant combination, actually. BSB Captain with Heavy Armor, Halberd, BSB, Steel Republic, not bad. And then this is smart, actually. His general is the Oracle instead of the Dread Prince. Obviously, that way, if he gets his cannon off, it's not the end of the world. The Oracle is rocking Divination, which I thought was interesting for Dread Elves. And then had Ring of Shadow, Familiar, and Destiny's Call. So pretty expensive Oracle. And then 44 Dread Legionnaires, the Rending Banner. 2 Things of 10 Recruiter Auxiliaries. 10 Dread Judges. 2 Hunting Chariots. 2 Krakens. And that's the army staring at each other. So I decided to drop everything after he had these 2 drops down. I was able to kind of measure out, make sure that my crossbows were going to be able to shoot turn 1, and I think I had 1 cannon aimed at that one Kraken on the hill. So starting with my deployment on the left, I've got my 6 Knights, and then my 4 Knights of Sun Griffin in the field, and then my 12 crossbows also in the field. And then a little bit further back, I've got the 20 crossbows. I believe both the 12 and the 20 have range to one of the units of repeater auxiliaries. Probably closer one of the first 2. And then in the middle of my deployment, I have a big piece of Haspel Train. Those mushrooms were kind of annoying. I put my mortar on one side. Not the best place. I don't know. I couldn't really find a good place for my war machines in this map. And then put my cannon in front. put my Imperial Guard in the center, my General's on the left wing unit, and he is ranged to both the crossbow units for accurate. And then and my BSV's next on the other side, so you can get accurate to the handgunners. Such a delicious combo. Got my Acon engine behind my light infantry with handguns, and then the only thing I have to the right of all of that is my one unit of riders who are going to vanguard up. And my steam tank. I don't know how I forgot about the steam tank. It's chilling in the forest. The steam tank, I believe, was what I was going to be able to draw a line of sight to the Kraken with. So not the spiciest turn 1 shooting possibilities. You know, he was able to hide a lot of things because on his deployment he has the 2 hunting chariots just kind of on the left. They're going to be able to pick on the Knights of Sun Griffin. Then he's got 1 Kraken in front, but it's hidden from the cannon. I think the mortar might be able to see it. And then he's got the Dread Judges behind the hill. The Dragon model is his Manticore model. Manticore Prince. He's also behind the hill. Although he's kind of like, I don't know if you want to shoot at that guy when he's got that 3-up ward save. Obviously, if you hit and you wound, you have a really good chance of killing in 1 round. But the 3-up ward save it's almost a good deterrent. And then that other Kraken. The Krakens are Hydra models, but you know it's 9th Age. We're not going to fault him for that. And then behind his Repeater Auxiliaries, those were again his first 2 drops. He's got his big unit of Dread Legionnaires. Man, that is a huge unit of elves. I've seen some elf lists doing this recently, and it's very interesting. And then this is actually a photo after Vanguards, and that's his 5 Dark Apprentices. I forgot to mention those when I was describing his list, but he has them, and they will do something later in the battle. You'll have to watch and see. So, EOS Turn 1. I put accurate on all of my shooting, except, I think, the most far unit of crossbows. I wanted the marching one on the handgunners, because they were going to move forward a little bit. I think I didn't even march them, I think I just wanted the extra movement. And then my turn 1, moving up, I don't move my Knights of Sun Griffin forward, which I'm kind of thinking that might have been a mistake now, but I moved my Knights, Knightly Orders forward, I moved my Imperial Guard a little bit forward, and then everything's just kind of hunkering down. In the match phase, I get, one of the bigger cards turn 1, I get Flux Card 8, which is a very good card, 7 dice, 7 tokens. I'm able to get Altered Sight off on my big unit of 20 crossbowmen. And I know they definitely have. I know these guys are definitely in range to shoot the crossbowmen, so that's a good unit. And then I put the armor save from Alchemy on these guys. Just didn't want them to get, those guys can die pretty easy, even to some light shooting. And then I open up, and I'm able to do 9 wounds to the one on the left, which is pretty good. A little bit sad not to do that 1 extra wound, because now that guy's kind of just, still around. He passes panic. And then I believe this was shooting with the handgunners. Even after moving with the accurate, I also put a couple wounds on the unit. So that's actually not too bad at all. And I believe my cannons miss. And the riders do 1 wound to the dark acolytes, which is a bummer because 2 wounds would have been great to force panic. Dread Elf turn 1. So he pushes forward quite aggressively. He's got oh, you know what? Actually, that's right. I did peel off that one last repeater crossbow with the unit of 12 crossbows, I believe. Sometimes you just got rid of those guys. So yeah, as you can see, he pushes forward with all his monsters in the middle. He's got that spear bunker coming around. They're going to try and fight the Imperial Guard. On his turn, he casts. He took, I believe, the 2 spells from Oculism. These guys aren't the Yama upgrades, so they have like the little D6 missile. They throw it at the riders, and they do 2 wounds, and I panic, but I stay on the board, so that was nice. And then I believe this is just picture I cast Hard Target Distracting on his unit. I was not going to shoot at them, even though I'd love to shoot at them, but I have other things I have to shoot at first. EOS turn 2, my riders rally, which was nice, a little bit unexpected. I guess if they're going to fail the panic, it's nice for them to get the rally at least. So this is me backing up in a couple places with crossbowmen. Even though I didn't have to back up with the big unit of 20, but I did back up with the small unit of 12. Even though backing up really sucks, sometimes it's just something you got to do Otherwise, you know, you just can't get charged by those big monsters. Yeah. Unfortunately, it's pushing my knights back too. In the magic phase, I get Flux Card 3, which is nice. You get 5 dice, 5 fail tokens. I don't really remember if I got too much off. I did get the Quicksilver Lash off on one of the Krakens, which was good. And it did 3 wounds, which is really good, actually. Or it did 2 3 wounds. I'm not sure how his dice are counting down. And then I think I tried to cast Molten Copper over here. I might have gotten Molten Copper through, actually. I know I did one big Molten Copper on the scene at one point in the game. I had like 16 hits, so I want to say I did like 13 wounds. It was beautiful. I needed something like that early on. Whittle those guys down. In the shooting phase, I actually target the mortar at these guys on the hill. I could just see them, and they're just within 24. Maybe able to kill 4, which I just thought was okay. It was a little below average, actually. I was kind of hoping to do like 5 or 6 wounds, maybe. And then this was really disappointing, actually. With the 20 handgun shots, I only did like 5 wounds to those repeaters. And, I was just, I was accurate hitting on 4s, and I just kind of flubbed. And then Star Dreadnoughts turn 2. He charges his Kraken at the unit of 12, and my long rifle actually puts a wound on the Kraken, which was cool. And then it thankfully fails the charge. It needed a pretty long charge. I want to say it was like a 10 or maybe an 11 on the dice. But it was worth him doing the panic check, which I passed. Just on the 7, I think. Or I might have been out of range at that point. That 18's long, but it's not that long, And then this is showing how he's moving up. So he's got that one Kraken moving on the impassable terrain that I'm gonna have to deal with. And then I've got that one other Kraken in front of me, and then his character. And yeah, it's just a lot of guys. I take a couple wounds from shooting on my light infantry. And then start of EOS turn 3. This is where things get really spicy. I charged my Knights of Sungrip and my Kraken, which is something I did not want to have to do. It's not a good matchup, but at this point I really didn't feel like I had any options. I didn't have enough shooting to be able to pick him off. And then he chaffed me with his repeater auxiliaries that I couldn't kill the previous round, so I had to charge them, get him out of the way. And then this is how it's looking. So at this point, I actually don't even have accurate on my light infantry. They're within 15 inches of that wounded Kraken. So I just want to try and use them to kill the Kraken, and then use that 12 to kill, shoot whatever I can too. The handgunner's turn to shoot the Dark Apprentices, or I can't remember if it's Apprentices or Acolytes. I'm going to call them Acolytes. In the magic phase, I'm able to get the armor bump off on the Knights of Sungrip. So got a 1-up now, which is not bad. Get 5-ups against that strength 7. And then this is where I get the big Molten Copper off, and I do like 10 or something wounds. I rolled like 16 on the dice. And then I also put Flammable on them, which is nice too. So if they charge into me, I can activate my Flaming Banner. I do 1 wound with the light infantry, with the unwielded and everything, but he passes his, or he makes, I think I do 2 wounds. He makes a ward save, and he passes his panic. And then, thank goodness, I was able to, with the 20, I can't remember, I think it was between the 2 units of crossbows, I was able to do 2 or 3 more wounds to that Kraken and kill it. So that was really great, because I didn't need a Kraken going into those. A Kraken going into the Imperial Guard would have been really scary, because that strength 7 would have chewed through my guys, and the Thunderstomp would have been so powerful. So yeah, this is what it looks like after a combat reform, to kind of face in. Trying to also give him an angle that's like not great for him to charge the light infantry either. And then this was amazing. So I come in with the Knights of Sungrip and the Griffs. I mean, because the worst part is distracting. I'm hitting on 5s. I get like 2 hits with the Griffs, and they do 2 wounds. And then with the 3 Knight attacks, I get 2 hits again, and again, 2 wounds. I couldn't believe it. Another crazy thing is one of the hunting chariots panicked as well, and fled. There you can see right there. So the other one, I give him a flank here, but I'm kind of thinking like I'll probably be able to kill 1 hunting chariot in combat. He charges in. Again, I've got a 1-up armor save still. I'm kind of looking for the long, I'm looking at the long picture here. I probably should have just turned to face the hunting chariots, but again, I was kind of thinking like if I can turn around these knights and get them in the rear of these spearmen, like, I could easily win this combat in a couple rounds. So, because here we are, Imperial Guard versus, I think we're about the same side. I think it's 30 Imperial Guard versus 30 Dread Legionnaires, plus his Prince on the Manticore, plus his BSB, plus my BSB, plus my Marshal, plus his Wizard. So it's a big combat. Let's see how it goes. He actually, I thought this was a really great move. He debated about it, but I was like, I think that was the right move. He charges his Dark Acolytes in the rear of my Steam Tank to basically, hopefully just to hold it up for a round. He's just got to pass enough ward saves to not die. He's got all the combat res he needs now. He's got +3, so either I kill him or he sticks around. So what the board looks like, I believe that Chariot rallies. And yeah, we go into combat, and I only do 1 wound to them. So that's perfect. Yeah, I couldn't kill him with the grinds. He just made too many ward save. And this was really bad. This was hilarious combat. So he comes in. I want to say he gets 5 impact hits, and I want to say I pass them all. I make all my armor saves, and he also fails his fear test. Then I go to strike at him. I whiff hardcore with the Griff and with the 1 knight, which is funny. I'm hitting on 3s, wounding on 3s. I should at least do like 2 wounds or something like that, but no, I just whiff, flee, and then he falls short, and that's where we are. And then the big combat. Yeah, it was just kind of a big grind. His guy in the Manticore was not really rolling that well, which is really bad because, you know, it's like I've got Distracting Up. I want to say he might have Distracting Up too from Divination. I'm pairing, obviously, which really helps me with against his Lightning Reflexes. But yeah, it's just a big grind. It's a push. I can't remember who wins, but we all stick around. And then EOS Turn 4. I pretty much keep the same orders on. I want to say I put Accurate on my my Light Infantry with the crossbows, see if I can do some damage to that Chariot. And then my Knights Rally, which is great. So again, I didn't even really lose anything with that Hunting Chariot thing. And Magic, I'm able to Molten Copper his Dread Executioners off the board, which is nice. I was going to shoot him at the Riders, but Molten Copper just peeled them off. And then in shooting, I was able to kill the 1 Hunting Chariot, which is great, because now, you know, 1 Hunting Chariot really can't do anything against those 4 Knights on Griffin. And then this was nice in combat. I mean, 1 turn a little too late, but I'm able to kill the rest of the Dark Acolytes with my Steam Tank. And then in combat, this time it got really bloody. I felt on my side I couldn't make any armor saves. Unfortunately, I couldn't get the armor spell off. I want to say he might have had the Binding Scroll, and he used it right then and there to stop me from either casting one of my buffs or my hexes. I'm trying to think if that was... No, that was a different game. I think I just think I couldn't get it off. He was able to stop it. But I really wanted to get the armor save buff off, because even though he's AP 2 right now, I just couldn't make any armor saves anywhere. I feel like I lost so many guys this round. I feel like I did do a decent amount of damage back to him, but like, I mean, he's definitely looking depleted. But I felt like I definitely lost this round, but I held on my bodyguard. Thankfully, my characters right now are undamaged. So turn 4, he just kind of moves his chariot up just to shoot these guys. One of them has a wound from that combat. 1 wound from that combat with the chariot. Yeah, pretty much right into EOS Turn 5. There was obviously some magic and some combat. You can see right there, there's not a lot of Imperial Guard left. I want to say there's actually like 1 guy left. It's been really bloody. There it is. Yeah, I'm able to charge my Steam Tank into the side of his Manticore Prince, which is actually a really great. It's actually the best thing in my army to deal with this guy, because I've got that Strength 7 impact hits, and he only has a 5 up against, or a 6 up against Strength 7. Yeah, so the Steam Tank's really great going in the flank right there. Again, as you can see, there's only 2 Imperial Guard left. My BSB and my Marshal. They're just trying to grind out the rest of that unit. And then kind of missed a couple Flux cards, but I got Flux card 6, which is not a bad card at this point. And I want to say I'm able to get Perception of Strength off on my unit Imperial Guard, or really my characters, which isn't bad because they're Strength 5. there's a couple other things I was probably trying to cast, and I just couldn't really get them off. Yeah. But then the only problem about this combat is he does have the Aegis 2 up against flaming attacks on his Prince, so I can't really use any of the good alchemy spells to help me deal with him. And then by the end of the combat, over a couple rounds, we're able to all kind of stick around. I'm able to do 3 wounds onto his Prince, which was amazing. But they killed my BSB. But then on my final turn 6, he's only got, at this point, he's only got like 5 or something spearmen left. I come in with my altar, my engine, and my impact hits kill the rest of the unit. And then I'm actually able to break and overrun the characters, and I kill his dragon dude with my steam tank, just with its normal grinds. So by the end of the game, I actually end up getting all his characters, which was amazing. I lost my Imperial Guard unit, but yeah, there it is, 4 wounds on the Imperial Prince with the steam tank. Just its grinds, just a great unit to deal with that flying character. Which is funny to say in an army with cannons. It's like, oh, I just used my steam tank in combat to kill him. And this is what the final side of the board is. So I was able to, I want to say, I think I just shot the chariot off the board with like the mortar and the riders or whatever, and then I was able to march my Knights of Sun Griffin into the deployment zone. The objective was breakthrough, and it ends up being a 20-0 win for the EOS, and that was my round 1 at Battlecry, or not Battlecry, at that tournament's coming up at Cornerhammer, which was a great tournament, by the way. Len and Jeremy, good job, guys. Yeah, so this was I thought this was a really surprising game. We were kind of talking about it afterwards. My opponent was like, he was saying like, I needed to put my hunting chariots at the steam tank, and I was like, yeah, that's what I thought you were going to do. But then I remember looking at them, and I almost wasn't as scared as I was before, because, you know, they're hitting on 3-up, which is good, but they're only wounding on a 3-up, and then I have a 4-up armor save because they're only AP 3. So even shooting with them, I feel like there's just a lot of possibility for him just to either miss or not wound, or me make an armor save. And then they're still not doing anything. And then they're, you know, maybe eating a cannonball or something like that. So I thought the scariest thing in the list was the Krakens, and I got really lucky with handling them. Not only with the Knights of Sun Griffin, who could have got punked that round of combat. Seriously, even if that thing had 1 wound left and attacked them, it would have been hitting on 3s, wounding on 2s, and I would have 5-up armor save, and then the D3 wounds. It really could have killed 2 guys. It could have done at least 4 or 5 wounds, and then maybe even forced a panic, break test out of me. So yeah, I would say this game I got very lucky with handling those Krakens, and then that middle combat just kind of worked out in my favor. I wouldn't even say I won the war of attrition or anything, or I outgrinded him. It just the way the turns lined up in the magic phases, I think it all worked out well for me to be able to like come in on like my turn 6 with like my arcane engine. I also lost the right amount of Imperial Guard at like the right time. You know, like it's so great when you can like lose 2 Imperial Guard like in that like late like turn round 3 of combat, and then you still got your 2 characters that can do a little bit of damage to stay alive. This is pretty sweet. Because if he killed all Imperial Guard like that one round where like there was only like 10 left, and then forced a panic check on those 2 characters, this guy was one running for the hills, and then he would have chased down the characters, probably gotten my Arcane Engine, and then it's a totally different game at that point. Maybe the steam tank catches the dude on the dragon and does some damage to him, but then it's like I might not even get those characters by the end of the game. So I want to thank my opponent for playing this game, and again I want to apologize to all those listening and watching for this really late report. I've been a little inactive lately, but I'm going to try and step that up and put out some more battle reports. Yeah, so thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this battle report.